an epitome of resilience for positive reasons, perseverance and patriotism, and an outstanding scholar. These are among a string of descriptives of the man, Dr. Kofi Abrefa Busia. The relevance of Dr. Busia's ideas to our contemporary society was the focus of an event to commemorate the 110th anniversary of Ghana's former Prime Minister of the Second Republic, Dr. K.A. Busia. Speakers at the event described Dr. Busia as a man whose name evoked excellence and encouraged successive governments to emulate the regime and character of the former Prime Minister.
One of the indelible heroes in our history books, Dr. K.A. Busia, born on July 11, 1913, was a politician and a fine scholar. He was Ghana's second and last Prime Minister from 1969 to 1972. His tenure is credited for massive rural development as he sought to industrialize the rural areas for total national development. His period of stewardship is also remembered as a watershed for democratic governance as the regime promoted free speech, parliamentary opposition, and respect for human rights. Dr. Busia became the first African to have held a professorship in Ghana. He also held professorships in many institutions of higher learning in Europe and the Americas. At a symposium to commemorate his 110th birthday, he was eulogized as one who took decisions and implemented policies that impacted future generations. A former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, says successive governments should link the works and ideologies of Dr. Busia to the contemporary world for development.
I want us to really continue to learn from the pathway of such great men. He was selfless, and when he identified corruption as a problem, he really practicalized the solution thereto, including the fact that instantly he ordered all passport forms to be sold not at the passport office, but in post offices. That simple administrative directive led to the curbing of corruption in that wonderful place then called passport office.
The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Mr. Samuel Jenapo, said Dr. Busia's foresight for green Ghana antique production has led to the expansion of electricity to most rural areas.
On plantation development under his government's rural development program, and to promote this plantation development, Dr. Busia focused on the renowned premium tropical timber, known in the scientific world as Tectona grandis, but commonly referred to as teak. The objectives of the program, among others, ladies and gentlemen, were to create employment, protect the environment, and foreign exchange by way of lumber for export, and provide fodder for livestock. Apart from these, Dr. Busia had anticipated that transporting electricity cables on wooden poles will be cheaper and better than concrete ones, and teak will be a very critical tool to this electrification program.
The Member of Parliament for Kankwe Central, Mr. Patrick Boama, described Dr. Busia as a man of great humility. An NPP presidential hopeful, Mr. Boache Jako, said the works of Dr. Busia should be well documented to serve as a guide for future generations. He also encouraged the public to read materials published on Dr. Busia. The Executive Director of the Busia Institute for Rural and Democratic Development, BIRDD, BIRD, Mr. Anania J., said the country must honor the memories of their heroes and heroines. Dr. Kofi Abrefa Busia died on August 28 in 1978.